G'day everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk you through my tips for the finals in the 2023 Toyota Afl Premiership season. Let's not waste any more time, let's get right into it. So the first game is the qualifying final between Collingwood and Melbourne. Obviously those two teams came off with wins over Essendon and Sydney respectively last week. Obviously, the Pies absolutely demolished the Essendon Bombers by a huge amount as last week. But the D's, they did it the hard way against the Swans. But given though the D's Melbourne did win just one on King's birthday earlier this year. But I got a feeling that Collingwood could have revenge. So I'm going to say Collingwood to win it by 14 points. So the next game is the first elimination final between Carlton and the Sydney Swans. Obviously, Sydney had a little trouble playing on this ground after they got smacked by Geelong in last year's grand final. But the Blues came off after getting their winning streak broken last week against GWS, which was 9. They could fight back. I'm gonna back in the Blues. And I'm gonna win the Carlton by 20 points. Next game is the elimination final 2 between St Kilda and GWS. Obviously, the Saints have made finals for the first time since 2020, the COVID season. The Giants did knock over the Blues to make finals and kick the Dogs out after the Dogs did beat Geelong in Geelong. But this is a tough game. I'm gonna back in the Giants to get this job done, and kick the Saints out of the finals. And I'll say Giants to win it by 4 points. Next up is the second qualifying final between Brisbane and Port Adelaide. Obviously, last time those two teams met, the Power absolutely destroyed the Lions at the Adelaide Oval. But given though Brisbane have not been beaten in this year at the Gabba, I can't tip against Brisbane at the Gabba. Okay, so I'm gonna say Brisbane to get it done by 29 points. Right, it's time for the semi-finals. First semi-final is between Melbourne and Carlton. Melbourne and Carlton have been playing great footy in recent weeks, but obviously the Blues did beat the D's by 4, but they could do it again. I'm going to back in the D's to get it done. Melbourne by 11. Next game is between Port Adelaide and GWS at the Adelaide Oval in the second semi-final. Obviously, the Giants did have a good run against stronger teams at their fortresses, like in the Sir Doug Indigenous round where the Giants knocked off the Cats in round 11 by 4 at GMHBA. But Port plays so well at the Adelaide Oval. I'm gonna back in the Power to get it done. Port by 13. Next up is Collingwood and Port Adelaide in the first preliminary final at the MCG. Obviously, last time those two teams met, the Pies have just held on by 2 against Port Adelaide Oval. But given though Port, I think I can't. Collingwood, I'm going to say Collingwood to get it done. I'm going to say Collingwood to get it done by 3 points. Next up, in the other preliminary final, it's between the Brisbane Lions and Melbourne. The Lions could drop one in the prelim final, given though the Lions did lose heavily to Geelong last year. But it's at the Gabba though, so Brisbane and Melbourne. I'm gonna say Brisbane to get it done by 1 point. So here it is now. It's the grand final between Collingwood and Brisbane. That's only what I predicted. But this is a hard grand final to tip. If that happens in real life, Collingwood and Brisbane grand final, then I would not have a clue who wins. But because here's two things. Collingwood always recently made it into a grand final and they choke. But the Lions can't play at the MCG. They have not won a game since 2014 or something, and excluding finals. But the Lions did win against Melbourne in last year's semi-final, and I am gonna back him. I'm gonna back him down to get the job done in the grand final. Brisbane to win by 10 points in the grand final. Lions take a flag home to the Gabba. Well, there you go, guys. That's all my tips for the 2023 Toyota AFL Finals Series. If you like it, please leave a comment, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you again, probably in the next vlog. See ya.
We are the pride of Brisbane town, we wear the